Welcome back to the channel here, everyone, and the TikTok page. Today we're going to be breaking down the second Final Destination movie. As you guys saw yesterday, 2 days ago, because we got a movie haul there on Monday. I'm recording this before the movie haul, but we've been watching the Final Destination movies. We're going to be going through those, and then I'll take any recommendations here for a future franchise. I was thinking maybe I revisit the Halloween or the Chucky ones, and then the more you guys throw out there, I'll definitely do. We're going to be hitting a lot of movies here over the next year, so if you guys want to help me out with my Amazon wishlist, that's out on YouTube until I hit 1K here on TikTok. But to get on into this movie here, this is another pretty solid movie that I enjoy watching. Um, I love this franchise, as I said in the first video here reviewing these movies. I haven't watched them in a few years, so revisiting these is just kind of bringing back that lore of watching it when I was younger. And man, another movie here where we start off with the opening scene, which is a trend in all these movies where someone basically cheats death. We see a whole car crash, pile up, and everything happening at the start of this movie here. One of the main characters, what was it, Kimberly, is it? I don't remember the names. I'm really bad with names, guys, if you can't tell. The main character here in this movie ends up seeing a whole pile up happen within the crash, and she basically, as you guys remember from the first one, they'll see it play on out, and then it circles back in full circle, where we'll basically just see everything happen and then nothing happens, and then you freak out, and then you kind of memorize certain things. Like in this one, she starts saying, Highway to Hell, which is one of the songs that played during or right before the crash happened, and then a few other songs. Well, in this situation, she starts singing, and her friends start to freak out a little bit, and the next thing you know, she sees a log truck coming on down that ended up starting off that whole crash and killing a bunch of different people. And then a little side Easter egg, the speed on one of those speed sign said 180, which, if you guys didn't know, was the plane number in the first movie. So that's a nice little Easter egg that comes into full circle later. Sorry, I got my cat on my lap. He's a little distracting, but we see this movie play on out, per usual within these movies. Certain people die, and it's supposed to go in a certain order here, where basically death is trying to get everything fixed because you broke death's cycle. And everything's planned out for a reason for death. So we see certain characters starting to drop that were supposed to drop early on within the movie. And the main character here in this movie does end up realizing that, and she seeks help basically from the one survivor there of the original movie, who basically assigned herself to an insane asylum so she could stay safe and avoid any danger. But it doesn't really help her much because it comes full circle of death is going to find a way to make it happen. Throughout this movie, we see a lot more moments where certain situations pop up with the main character. We saw it a few times in the first one, but not as much as this one, where she sees certain things playing out before they happen, and it comes back to kind of bite her in the butt, just due to the simple fact that people are still dying the way they were supposed to. So like death just kind of played a trick on them in a sense a little bit, is how I like to look at it. And it just basically just plays on out per usual. A few people die here and there, and then someone else ends up, taken away from death's cycle by saving someone else, and that comes back later on at the grill they have at the end of the movie. We see a bunch of different things. They think they could break the cycle due to a birth because new life apparently can break the cycle. If someone basically was within the cycle that was pregnant, they think if they gave birth that it would break the cycle because it's new life, and then that just resets death's whole plans right there basically. But here to find out the person they were trying that with actually was not involved in the crash. She was just a bystander that saw everything happen. So then we see a few other things play on out. The main character realizes that she ends up having to die because if she comes back to life, technically she's a new form of life and they can survive and break that cycle, which she ends up doing. But one main thing I will say within this movie, the people that ended up dying here within this movie, or the main characters, were actually people who were supposed to be the victims of deaths within the first movie, because those survivors basically lived. They took away from death cycles there, and it kind of looped in and made sense, and I thought that was kind of cool. Something we didn't really expect to hear about until midway through that movie, and then we do hear about it, and I thought it was just really cool and a lot of fun. At the end of the movie, we see that full circle come around with the one person that was supposed to die, because he got pulled out of the way of one of the vans, ended up blowing up at a grill, which was interesting itself. But very great movie overall. I love these movies. I highly recommend it. I know I'm going on a little bit more of a rant here with these movies, but that's just because I'm really passionate about this franchise alone, because it just was something I watched quite a bit as a kid growing up, and I really like the movies. So I highly recommend watching them, guys. This is gonna come in at my two spot. I'm gonna give the original one just a little bit of a slight advantage, just due to the fact that I kind of like the cast a little bit more in that first one. I like the group of people there. The second one wasn't bad with casting. I just really like the original one over the second one. But stay tuned for another one coming up tomorrow, guys. I'm pre-recording all these because I'm out traveling for work here this week. So hope you guys enjoy. And as always, go check out the YouTube, guys. If you're on TikTok, in my bio, my Amazon wish list. If you want me to watch certain movies, please go ahead. Help me on out. That'd be greatly appreciated, because then I can do more of these for you guys. I don't want to run out of anything at any given point, so be aware. And if you guys like my horror icons bracket, make sure to leave a comment on that. And as always, leave your comments for future movies. I'll take a look. But until next time, we'll see you, and stay spooky.